Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about social media and how social media can affect your mental health. And so that's what I want to discuss today. How can social media affect your mental health? That's today's topic. It is obvious that so many people use social media and so many people are on multiple platforms, and I have you know talked to people who have struggled with it a lot. I've talked to people who've just decided, you know what, I need to get off of Facebook, or I need to stop using Instagram, or whatever the case is. And for a lot of people, it's very difficult for them to be able to control social media, control their use of social media, and it's not always young people, right? It's a wide spectrum as far as ages are concerned of people who are struggling with social media. So that's what I want to talk about today. It's how social media can affect you and your mental health, and some of the effects it can have. So before we get into the video, if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so now. I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share the video. Please leave your comments. All those things help the channel grow. And if you've got any suggestions for videos that you would like for me to make, please let me know. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, now I've made some notes, and so from time to time I'm gonna kind of reflect, looking at my laptop, and as I'm kind of looking at some notes that I wrote down. But I think we're all aware now that the impact, as far as our mental health is concerned, that social media can have on us has to do with anxiety and depression, right? And so social media now is causing anxiety and depression in a lot of people. And as I said, the age spectrum is pretty wide in terms of who it is affecting. The impact is definitely really, really strong on, I would say, people who are younger. And you're seeing a lot of studies now being put out where there's a lot of academic research and health research being done in that area. And you're seeing a lot of kids struggling with it, a lot of young people, teenagers, young adults, people in their 20s, struggling because they are using social media in such a prolific way that it's actually causing them to struggle, and in terms of their mental health. So, anxiety and depression. Now, there was a study that, maybe not one, but I think I read. I read so many different studies, but I think there's one particular one that talked about also the impact it's having on young women, right? And teenagers in general, but also specifically on young women in terms of how they look at themselves. And this whole definition of what we see on social media as being beautiful. Now, if you look at what gets the most likes, like who's the person and what are the images or the pictures or the whatever that get the most likes in terms of body image, someone's body image, and how that is presented, and then what in a sense now are people seeing as beautiful, right? So what is being displayed as being beautiful as far as social media is concerned. And you're seeing a lot of young women struggling with body issues because of what they're seeing online, which ultimately is causing a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression. The other thing, you've probably heard of it. If you haven't, it's called FOMO, FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. And so what you see a lot of times is people posting a lot of what we could consider or call their highlight reels, right? So they're posting a lot of their highlight reels, and in these highlight reels, the highlight reels are really just your finest moments, if you want to put it that way. So a lot of people are posting just the really good things. So it's if I happen to take a trip, I post all the pictures from that trip, or I should say all the best pictures from that trip. I post all the fun things that I do. I post all the fun things that are going on in my life. And you have someone who's sitting on the other side of the screen thinking to themselves and feeling like, okay, what is going on here? This person is having all this fun. This person is traveling. They're doing all this sort of stuff. And you're thinking, I'm at home. I'm missing out on this. I want to do this. I want to be a part of this. Why am I so broke? Why am I so this? Why am I so that? I think one of the things to always take into consideration is you never know where someone is getting their stuff from. And I've been one of those people even since I was a child, and always kind of reminded to, especially by my grandmother, that you don't know where someone is getting their stuff from, so perhaps you should be jealous of it when people are displaying all these things. Maybe they worked really hard. Maybe it's legit. But maybe this person has worked really hard to be able to purchase the clothes or the jewelry or the whatever it is, and to be able to live that type of lifestyle. Or maybe it is a made up lifestyle, and perhaps you're even more happier in your life. Now, that things might be great, but perhaps you're even more happier in your life than you might think. And this person is just putting out a facade. How many of you have probably followed some of your favorite couples, whether it's in, you're seeing them on social media, whether it's Hollywood or whether it's YouTube or whatever it's the case, and then you see the person break up and you're like, oh, yeah, I didn't know what was, I didn't expect that, right? I didn't expect this couple to break up. I didn't think this was going to happen. This is kind of surprising to you, that sort of stuff. I mean, a lot of times, it takes you by surprise. And that's because people are only showing you the parts of their life that they want you to see. Keep in mind what technology and what social media allows you to do. It allows you to present the side of yourself that you want people to see. And some people say, well, social media is not real life, and that's just, Instagram, or it is real life. As a matter of fact, it is real life. It's just the part of someone's life that they want you to see, right? They're not showing you everything for private reasons. And then also just because if you really did see everything, you probably would judge them, and you'd probably realize that they're perhaps not as happy and as content as they probably seem with their relationship or whatever the case is. So people edit stuff, or people, before they turn on the camera, you could just have had the worst fight or whatever the case is with your spouse or your partner or whatever the case is. And then you all turn on a camera and you put on your antics for your YouTube channel or whatever the case is, and everything looks merry. And then at some point in time, you realize, oh, they broke up. I didn't see this coming, or whatever the case is. That's because they won't showing you that. So keep in mind, a lot of people are just showing you their highlight reel, right? And so you've got to take into consideration why a lot of people now develop the anxiety, yes, because they perhaps don't consider themselves as beautiful or handsome or sexy or whatever the case is, based on what they're seeing out there. All those images are feeding into their subconscious in a way that's hurting them, and making them, because we make sense of ourselves in a lot of ways based on people that we're seeing in society, the people around us. It helps us to make sense of who we are. There's a theory called the social comparison theory, right? Not to get too academic, but there's a theory called the social comparison theory, which means that, pretty straightforward, right? We look around and we look at other people to see if we're doing good. So if on social media someone is posting all these pictures, they're taking these trips, they're doing whatever the case is, here you are at home being depressed. And that's not good for your mental health. That's where the connection comes in between mental health and social media. Here you're feeling depressed, or your body is not in the shape that you want it to be, or whatever the case is. You're just getting more depressed and dealing with more anxiety. There's bullying and all that kind of stuff that's taking place online, that's contributing especially to a lot of, not just young people, but in general, people suffering from anxiety and depression. And so those are some of the negative ways that social media is affecting us. So there was a study done in 2018. It's a British study, and it showed that obviously, if you're spending a lot of time, and this is common sense really, right? If you're spending a lot of time on social media, it means you're reducing your sleep. And if you're reducing your sleep, then guess what? You're putting yourself in a situation to where you are tired throughout the day and you're not functioning at your best. You cannot be at your best if you've got to spend so much time in social media. There are people who would, be in classes and would be on social media. A lot of students do that. And you got to think about what is that taking away from the experiences that you're supposed to have. And it affects a lot of students' academic performance, right? Them being on social media. And if you're staying up late and you're on social media and you're not sleeping, then that contributes to stress and you're not being able to perform at your best or your absolute best or whatever the case is because of being in a situation to where you're overusing social media. So social media definitely has a lot of positives. This is a conversation that I'm going to continue this conversation because there's a lot to say, but I just kind of wanted to get in, I guess you could call this part one of this right now, and then I'll talk about social media and the effects again moving forward. But you got to control it. I don't think it's not a bad thing. I think with anything, it's how you use it. And I think for parents, they have to be really mindful of, should your 12, 13, 14-year-old be on Instagram and all that sort of stuff and just have free reign to different types of social media. So let me know what you think. Please leave your comments down below and let me know what you think in terms of social media or maybe how it's affected you. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to leave your comments. Don't forget to share. It helps the channel grow. And if there's any video that you would like me to make, any topic you want me to talk about, please let me know. So thank you again for watching. I know you could be watching anyone else's video, so I want to just thank you for taking the time to look at mine. Until next time, peace.